Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
Many educationalists are now tapping into new technologies and online platforms to find solutions to the high cost and inaccessibility of some educational resources. These open sources have allowed people from around the world to access a wide variety of information. Let's explore how they are being used. In a high-tech world, what is more practical? Buying a book, going to a library, or simply browsing online to get all the information you need without paying a penny? What about if all the academic books you needed were also just one click away? We go to the UK and Greece to find out more.
Cambridge is home to one of Britain's most exclusive universities. Students here have access to some of the world's best academic resources at over 100 libraries. The exorbitant price of educational texts can hamper learning in countries with fewer means. In 2008, a group of academics in Cambridge decided to change this by offering free digital editions of academic texts via Open Book.
First thing was to set up a website and make this book available free to read to everybody. And that's what we did in the first place. We invited a couple of authors to begin with, very, very well-known authors, and said, do you want to publish the books that you have already written in a new edition that everybody can read for free? And they accepted with enthusiasm, and many more followed with their original works after that. So, you know, that's part of our mission, to make academia come out from closed doors and really appeal to the general public and disseminate these ideas that take so long to research and be written, and then just make them free to the world to access.
The idea was to reinvent the traditional publishing model, to make high-quality texts accessible all over the world in a way that was quick, convenient and free to use, all important factors for reaching readers in developing countries.
Most of these countries, if we were doing a standard distribution system, we have no way of distributing our content to Libya, we have no way of distributing our content to Algeria. It's very difficult to get the printed work out there. But here we've got readers that are coming to us. The online edition, the digital edition is available, and it's coming online.
On average, a publisher can expect to sell 200 copies of an academic book. On Open Book, a book is viewed 400 times each month by readers. Outside the US and UK, Greece has the largest number of Open Book users. Free ebooks have provided a boon to professors and students alike.
When the crisis started approaching in this place, it was difficult for students to buy any books. Although at school we have free books, but not such books, which are called specialist books. It's not just a history book or a literature book. It's a special book about Romanticism and Philhellenism, and they should know that, and now they do so. I'm very glad about that.
I didn't have to spend money in order to buy the book, or I didn't have to spend hours at the library of the university to study the book there, because I wouldn't be able to borrow it and take it at home.
Cool. I mean, I've seen...
With 40 titles used in classrooms in over 120 countries around the world, Open Book is removing barriers to knowledge, making it part of the biggest shake-up in learning since the advent of the printing press.
In Egypt, some university students are taking part in the Wikipedia education program, where they are learning how to use and contribute to the Arabic edition of the world's biggest free online encyclopedia. Let's see how.
Since its inception in 2001, Wikipedia has grown into a global giant. Relying on a volunteer army of 23 million writers and users, it has 4 million articles and counting. The organization's educational branch is enlisting and training students to contribute articles in their native tongues in an effort to enrich the content available. We visited one such workshop in Cairo.
We believe that Wikipedia belongs in education, and that schools and universities are the right place from which we should recruit new volunteers to edit it.
The Wikipedia education program was launched in Egypt in 2012. It aims to teach professors and students how to edit articles, as well as giving tips on using Wikipedia as a teaching tool in class. According to Dr. Abir Abdel Hafez, the program also changes how students approach their own academic research.
One of the project's goals was to improve the students themselves. With my students, I really focused on helping them build themselves up and improve their thought process, to give their imagination free rein, and to choose a subject to write about.
The program lasts up to 12 weeks and is open to anyone, although surveys find many Wikipedia editors are men. In Egypt, the program is aiming to reverse the trend. Almost 90% of the latest workshop participants were female.
Originally, about 80% of the editors were male, and it's natural that they have a certain way of writing articles.
According to May Hashem, male writers rarely focus on subjects such as female historical figures or female issues. Before an article is uploaded, it must be reviewed by the community. According to Samir, some are validated in minutes, for others it can take years. As an information source, Wikipedia aims to remain impartial, relying solely on donations.
For that reason, Wikipedia does not sell ads, because ads are not a bad thing. But when you sell ads, you will be influenced by the people who pay for you. They would ask you to share this or not to share this.
As of October, student contributions accounted for 3% of content available on the Arabic Wikipedia.
Did you know that you can personally contribute to scientific research just by playing a video game? In this report, we go to the US to discover how crowdsourcing is helping scientists map the 3D structure of neurons.
Every night at midnight in November for 5 minutes, the ads in Times Square switch off and science switches on. The images are the work of filmmaker Noah Hutton, who is an avid iWire player. It's a crowdsourcing game, meaning anyone with a computer and an internet connection can play. But while you play, you're actually helping scientists map the brain. Some of the images Noah is showing here are taken from the game itself.
It's important right now to be open with your data, and that's what iWire is doing, is they're publishing data and they're allowing you to actually interact with it. I wanted to do something similar here in Times Square, where I take the visuals from the leading labs around the world and I put them in an open space to be presented with them, not being sold on anything, but just to see them, to react to them.
iWire is the creation of the MIT Brain Research Institute in Boston. Amy Robinson is the creative director of the iWire lab. The team hang out online with some 160,000 players from 145 countries around the world. It takes 50 hours for a single person to map one cell, and there are 85 billion in a human brain. It would take a huge amount of staff and time to get the job done. But if you make a 3D puzzle game out of it and you have hundreds of thousands of people playing it online, you can collect all the data in a relatively short time. And you need just a few administrators putting the final data together.
Who is this that looks like neurons in here?
If you do this enough, you sort of learn what a neuron looks like, what things are real, what things are not real, like what you sort of get a gestalt for like what it looks like.
Crowdsourcing in science is arguably a paradigm shift in the scientific method as a whole. You know, no longer do you have to have a PhD in neuroscience to contribute to major neuroscience discoveries. Now really all you need is a computer and an internet connection and an interest in gaming.
The more people play, the sooner the team can map the neurons in our eye. That's why iWire is now developing from a puzzle to an even more fun game with characters and music to relax players who can play up to 35 hours in a row.
Music will really help players to get more and more immersed into the experience, so it'll help make playing the game like more pleasant and more enjoyable, and I think it'll lead to players keeping engaged with the game like a lot longer.
iWire proves that science can be fun, and by connecting online, players are not just enjoying themselves, but they're also contributing to a scientific discovery, helping MIT scientists to understand how the brain sees movement.
Now, why don't you try to map some neurons with iWire's online game? When you have given it a go, log on to our social media pages to let us know what you thought and what difference you think this project could make to our lives. We look forward to reading your ideas. Goodbye for now.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.